Cape Town is a well-known digital nomad destination, but I had never been here before. So I'm so excited to spend the next 8 weeks investigating whether or not it lives up to the hype. I'll be checking out why you should, or maybe shouldn't, visit Cape Town as your next digital nomad destination. I made it to Cape Town. I've had very little sleep after spending the night in the Nairobi airport, do some last minute flight cancellations and rebookings, but I am here. The flight was really easy. The airport is super nice. I really didn't get to spend much time in it. My driver just ran through the airport. Now waiting for him to come get me. But yeah, no, passport control, everything is really good. The only thing was I could not get the free Wi-Fi to work. Luckily I have Google Fi, so I can get internet pretty much anywhere around the world. But yeah, I am excited to be here, and let's get our Cape Town adventure started. So I did make it to Cape Town today after a pretty lengthy travel day coming from Kenya. They did ask to see quite a few documents from me at the airport, which were my negative COVID test, regardless of vaccination status, my boarding passes, which I did have already printed out. If I hadn't had them, they probably would have given them to me, a yellow fever vaccine card, and then as well as my housing details for when I was in Cape Town and my departure flight. So I will say I'm not typically asked for a departure flight. So I don't know if because I was coming from Kenya, that was a requirement, or if it was just South Africa always requires to see that. A lot of countries say they require it, but they never check. So that was the first time I think I've really been asked in a really long time. I did not have it printed out, but I did have the confirmation on my phone because I had actually luckily already booked that flight. But as far as all the other documents, again, the yellow fever was just because I was coming from Kenya because it's a high-risk country. So it really depends on where you're coming from if they require to see that. It's not generally a requirement to go to South Africa. And then the COVID test. I mean, we're just in COVID times right now. And so if you haven't traveled yet during the pandemic, they do ask for your test at multiple stations. So it's actually the thing you show the most going through. So I showed it at the Mombasa airport where I checked in. I showed it again in Nairobi when I got on my actual international flight. And then they check it again once you actually land at your destination. It's been like that for every single flight I've been on, especially ones that have the layovers or multiple stops. So those are typically the documents that you're gonna want to have on you. So obviously your passport and your boarding pass, which you can usually get at the airport if you can't print them ahead of time. COVID test, really important. And also another tip for the COVID test is that you need to look at the time frame from when they say you need it. So in this case, it's 72 hours for South Africa. That means that it needs to be valid for the entire length of your travel and for when you arrive. You need to arrive within those 72 hours. So for these longer flights, that can be really challenging to time getting your test and getting your results in time, so you can go to the airport, make your flight, and arrive in that time frame. So just keep that in mind when you are booking your travel and getting your COVID test. But again, really easy. All they did was look at my documents, ensure that I had them, and then they let me go through. So I didn't have any issues getting through airport or passport control or immigration or anything like that. The Cape Town airport's really nice. Where we're staying in Cape Town was only maybe a 20-minute ride from the airport. I booked a car through my housing that I'm staying here for a couple of days, and it was 250 South African rand, which is about, I think, like $17. I already forgot. But yeah, not very much at all. So yeah, that was my arrival travel experience coming to Cape Town.